Sabaho everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the latest release device from Google. And let's, nope, not the Nexus 6, not the Nexus 6P, oh here it is. The Pixel XL in quite black. 32 gig variant unlocked from Google. Let's go ahead and do an unboxing and initial impressions of this little guy. The box is pretty simple. We have the Google logo there, Pixel, phone by Google, and then we have an outline of the device. This is the Pixel XL in quiet black, 32 gig variant. On the left side, we just have a G. On the back, not much. On the other side, we have the Google Assistant, Google Cast, and Daydream VR, the main features of this device. Now, Daydream VR requires a headset, and we don't have the headset yet, and once we do that, I'll do a separate video for you guys. Trusted knife, and let's go ahead and do the little flap here. Ah, here it is. The device is pretty much right here. First time I've actually seen it where a device is not front facing. It's actually back facing. It's almost like they want you to see the G for Google right out of the box. The camera, of course, in the back, we're still looking at the ultra pixels, the 1.55 micron sensor. At this one, we have EIS on it, and then we, of course, have the dual tone flash, the fingerprint sensor, and pretty much not much else here. On the front, it says your personal Google Assistant is always ready to help. Just press and hold the home button. La version française arrivera bientôt, prochainement en espagnol. Okay, so the new French and Spanish versions will come out soon, and of course we have the outline here. We'll put the device on the side real quick. We are greeted with the SIM removal tool, we'll check out later. Some instruction manual information. We do get a USB Type-C cable, and it is white. Does not match the color of the device, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and check it out real quick. That's not bad. It feels pretty sturdy. It's a Type A to Type C, and it is USB 3.0, as you can see here with the blue coloring. And we do have a clip for organization here, so when you're tying it up, you have the ability of making sure that it sits correctly. Definitely very nice. Let's open up here. And it looks like we have an OTG adapter at this point. This is something new. I've normally seen this with Galaxy devices when they are included. This is a this is USB Type-C to USB Type-A female connector, which means you can connect a regular USB cable and be able to use this with this device. More than likely, this is going to be for transferring information on and off our device using the OTG functionality. We'll put that on the side as well. Not much else on this side. On the right side, we have our power brick again, but it's a Type-C connector, which means that we're going to be using this to charge our device using the C-to-C connector, and that's where the additional cable comes in. That's something that's very new here and different from what we had with the Nexus devices. Last year's Nexus device came with one cable that was USB Type-A to Type-C, and it was like a 1-foot cable, extremely short, did not make sense, forced you to buy a cable right out of the box. This year, we have a 3-foot cable that's A to USB Type-C, ready for you to use with your PC or anything else that you'd like to use, even included an OTG adapter. And this year we have a USB Type-C and we have a C-to-C cable, and this looks pretty much about, I wasn't going to say 3 feet, but I'll definitely check that out later, but very good. And it looks like it supports really fast charging on this. The device is wrapped in plastic and it's easily, if I'm not mistaken, it should be, oh, I guess not. We're going to have to unwrap it. And one more. Wow, that is very satisfying. Okay. Oh, and it is taped a little bit on this side. We'll put this on the side. Very nice. I have to say, it has that nice metal feeling on the side. I mean, it has metal most around, and then we have the glass on top. And most of the time when you're holding the device, you're going to be holding it like this. I mean, unless you're interfacing with the fingerprint sensor here, you're really not feeling it. You're feeling metal and glass on the front. Very nice, very cold. Right out of the box, of course. We have G for the Google. We have no other insignia or any other branding. This is the unlocked version straight from Google. This is the quiet black color that I decided to pick up. And real quick for size comparison as far as even color, you can see that the color is pretty close to each other. This is just called quiet black at this point. This is the Nexus 6P from last year. It's a little bit bigger as we have a slightly different display. The camera sensor is intended, for all intents and purposes, is still this 1.55 micron sensor on both devices, but we're supposed to be getting much better implementation here, especially with EIS on board. And as far as aesthetics from the side, let's turn them to the left side. Just want to show you guys. We still have the volume rocker and the power button on top, and the volume rocker and the power button on top here on the Pixel, except that it's a little bit higher, so you notice there's a bigger gap, and they're definitely ridged, so you will be able to feel the difference between the buttons when you're clicking it. Of course, it's a smaller button, but you'll still feel that over there. And on the front, the first thing that will pop in front of you, of course, is the missing front-facing speaker. We only have a single firing speaker here, where we have dual firing speakers, stereo speakers on the Nexus 6P. That's something I definitely enjoyed a lot using this device, because for media consumption, you definitely want to have the best type of audio, and you want the audio to come at you as opposed to away from you. Turning them to the side, nothing other than the actual SIM tray, and they're both located in the same spot. Both don't support expandable storage, so you're stuck with whatever you have. I have 128 gigs on the Nexus 6P, and I have 32 gig on the Pixel XL. And the reason why I went with the smaller size is I'm going to actually use the Google Photo feature of backing up all my data onto the cloud with Google Photos. And on the back, we still have a fingerprint sensor, and as you notice, the fingerprint sensor on the Pixel is a little bit bigger than the Nexus 6P, which gives us a little bit better footprint there. Both are Type-C connector devices, and you'll notice that the Pixel has a couple of openings at the bottom, and I'll check those out. But we have quick charging, proprietary quick charging, not standard quick charging here on the 6P, but on the Pixel. I'm hoping this is going to be just a standard Qualcomm one, and we'll definitely check that out. On the top, headphone jack, very, very nice. I'm happy to see that on both devices. Let's go ahead and power up the Pixel XL, and go ahead and let it go through its first boot. Also, for quick size comparison, here's the Pixel XL with the iPhone 6s Plus from last year. You'll notice it's a little bit smaller. It's the same screen size. We have 5.5 inches to 5.5. Quad HD 1080p, but you'll notice even though the bezels are massive on this Pixel XL, it's still not as big as the way the iPhone kind of implements their presence here. And as far as thickness, it's sad to say, but I think the iPhone is a little bit thinner, although wider and a little bit taller. Let's go ahead and check it out real quick. As this is completing here, it's starting with the setup. I'll do a quick last couple of devices comparison here. Here is the this is the S7 Edge. From Verizon, 5.5 inch display, 5.5 inch display. You can see, of course, Samsung knocked it out of the park this year with design. Much better implementation of screen to bezel ratio, and the curves on the side make it look very, very nice. I like the fact that the implementation is extremely well done. But overall, just very, very nice implementation again. For a quick size comparison with the LG V20, that is only the other device that's on the market currently with Nougat on top. Now this is running Nougat 7.0, this is 7.1 right out of the box. And when we look at the devices as far as side by side, I just wanted to show you guys the thickness and the height. Obviously the V20 is going to be one of the tallest devices that is going to be on the market this year, mostly because of that second screen, but we're looking definitely a much bigger difference, and it still looks like the Pixel XL is thicker on as far as just the width. This button on the V20 is just to open up the back, and let's go ahead and close here. I launched the camera here by coincidence, and then let's go ahead and do on this side. On the left side we have no buttons on the Pixel XL, the volume rocker on the V20, and then as far as the back, let's look at them real quick. Again, V20, the G, and then the fingerprint sensor. I still like the fact that it's bigger. I'm really excited about that. Looks like that right out of the box, the battery has almost like 75% battery. I did pop in my SIM, so it has somewhat of a signal on it, and let's go ahead and start up with the setting. Welcome to your Pixel XL. Copy your data or set up as a new device. I'm actually going to go ahead and set it up as a new device because I'm going to go through, probably reset it one more time later on when I go through and unlock the bootloader. Now let's check in for a quick update just to see if there's any information that needs to be downloaded before we proceed. It is connected to Wi-Fi, and cellular does seem to be working. And it looks like right out of the box it's installing a data transfer tool, which is going to be using that little dongle that we saw in the box. And this says it just may take a few minutes, in just a second. Back up to Google Drive, we're going to just say okay, we'll keep that on. And allow the live wallpaper to respond to your location, help improve. We're going to disable this one. I usually just disable that side. And then we'll go ahead and hit next. And then now it's greeting us with the Google Assistant. Meet your personal Google Assistant. We'll say continue. It says give your new assistant permission to read. Yeah, of course. This is no different than setting up Google Now. It's just now it's called Google Assistant. Let your Google Assistant use what's on your screen to show this. This is for the Google Now on tap. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. So right out of the box here, we noticed that it programmed it to be on all the time as far as having OK Google activated at all time. And other than that, here says anything else, we can just do it. We're saying we're all set, we're ready. Now it's going to start doing some restoring on the device, and you notice right out of the box right there, that fading into the home screen, very, very nice. It's downloading some information on the left. If I swipe from the right side onto the left, you'll see here that my Google Now is still there. It says I owe $75 to T-Mobile for my phone bill. Turning to the right, there's not much. Swiping from the bottom to the top, we have access to the applications that are pre-built and installed on the system. This is the new Google Pixel Launcher, and the reason I say this is if we press and hold, we have all these shortcuts that we can interface with. Unfortunately, this did not transfer over yet to the Nexus 6P, even with the Android 7.0 and 7.1 update. Pressing and holding on the home button should get us into the Assistant.
Hi, I'm your Google Assistant. I can help you find what you need and get things done. If you need help, just ask, what can you do? So, how can I help?
Tell me the weather today.
It'll be sunny in Santa Clarita today with a forecasted high of 95 and a low of 61. Right?
So very nice, very useful, typical stuff that you see from Google Assistant, and it also does work within the new Google applications that were put out. We have a shortcut for Google right there. Of course, the Play Store is right here. All of these things are pretty standard. The camera, of course, is going to be one of the things we're definitely going to check out as far as music playback. We have Google Maps. No bloatware, really, pretty much just stock, all Google Play applications, YouTube, Play Movies, all the stuff, and then you're able to search from here. Of course, this is just the keyboard. The Google keyboard is built in. The next thing I wanted to kind of show you guys real quick is some of the main features. You'll notice the toggles on the top. We have 6 now as opposed to the 5 we used to have in the back because we have that little tick that moved up to the right. And as it's completing the setup here, we'll notice that the Google application is giving me a recommendation for music as it normally knows this is what I listen to. Opening it up from the grid, we have the normal 3x3 setup with the screen brightness, the ability to edit and then add different things and set them up. We can go back, and then of course we can go in and press and hold the gear, and that should be able to get us to the system tuner. System Tuner UI has been turned on, and we'll get into that in a second. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys here is that you can actually go in directly into settings from here, and you have 2 tabs now. The support, this is the support functionality where you're able to call 24/7 for help with the device on the phone to help you. And not only that, they can not only hear you on the phone, they can actually come in and almost like VPN into your device to help you fix whatever the problem is. Unfortunately, I'm hearing that because of the launch and everybody calling them, it's pretty bad because a lot of people are there. Now, changing the wallpaper or the wallpaper picker, this is one of the other main things a lot of people loved about the Pixel devices, as this is very nice and a very nice upgrade from what we had it in the past. Like we have live data here, which kind of gives us the different feelings, the different sense that we're getting here, and this is just, we can set the wallpaper, we can open it up, we can see what it looks like. We'll just go ahead and do it. You notice it was changing the light in the background, and it just works very, very nice. The other thing I wanted to show you guys real quick here is we have the main settings here, wireless network, all in the standard ones. Notifications, sound, apps. Let's go ahead and storage. I'm interested to see. Out of 29, we have 7.2 taken, so we roughly have about 22 gigs left for us to use. Again, some of the apps are already pre-installed and we'll be able to access them. Here, free up some space is one of the new features that we have. You can turn on the ability to back up directly to the cloud with the pictures, and it has basically 0 megabytes older files of over 30 days. I usually don't use it, but we will be using it with this device. And as far as downloads and so on, we'll be able to do that there if we need to. Let's go ahead and cancel here. See if that took in. It did not. Oh, because there's no pictures. That was the other thing. And of course, we have this, the built-in file explorer that we normally have within the Google devices. Going down the battery memory, we have 4 gigs of RAM, 1.4 of it used, and then 2.3 of it free. Pretty good, actually. A little bit better than I saw on the V20. We have one account set up, Tap and Pay with Android Pay is set up. Moves are some of the really nice things that we see here. Swiped for notification. This is the ability to use the fingerprint sensor now for something more than just being a fingerprint sensor. And I'm used to seeing this on the Honor devices, which was very, very nice. You use your finger here and you swipe it. And as you're swiping, it swipes down and opens up the notification shade. Definitely functional on devices that are 5.5 inches and greater. So I'm very happy to see that. Jump to the camera by double pressing the power button, and then flip camera to be able to flip between the back facing to the front facing camera to do a selfie, since most of the time you're going to be holding it with one hand. I'll keep that on. We'll check that out in a second. Security, account, Google, languages, backup, accessory, printing, those are standard. And I did turn on the system UI as I showed you guys from the top. You just bring down the notification shade, press and hold the gear for about 4 or 5 seconds, and you'll get that option here. This is separate from what you normally get out of developer options. Let's go ahead and check that out. Let's say got it. Here we are, the ability of customizing even more. As far as some of the things we want to show, the do not disturb is here and present. Volume button shortcut, very, very nice. And then as far as other, enable split screen swipe gesture, and we'll go ahead and do that for now. Let's go directly into the system. Out of the box, I have Android 7.1. It's not 7.1.1 like the preview version that came out for the Nexus 6P. It is Pixel XL. And we are running October 5th, 2016 security patch, which means this is more recent than the V20 that I received with the September security patch. And of course, we are running, Android Nougat. So what we're going to go ahead and go do real quick, where's here, build number, press it 7 times or 5, 6 times. We have to return this on up, and then Android Nougat, of course. I'm just going to activate the little Easter egg that we have here. Going back one more time, developer options. We still have OEM unlocking here. USB debugging, same location. Here is the multi-process web view, picture color mode, all the. You can turn on sRGB. I like to turn on. You'll notice it gets a little bit warmer. I feel like it gives us a much better color implementation. go ahead and play a real quick audio file just to see how good the sound comes out of this without having stereo speakers, of course. So let's go ahead and see that. We'll say OK. So it looks like we have a slightly different implementation. Typically, when I've seen single firing speakers, it's always been the right speaker on the device. But in this situation, we're noticing it's the left speaker that's creating the sound. And this is more likely just a fake speaker. And nothing on the earpiece, of course, as we have nothing else in there. Definitely very different, very new, very powerful device. I'm going to take a chance to unlock the bootloader on this first, as when we start rooting things and doing different things to this device, I'm going to be wiping everything off of it anyways. Last thing I wanted to show you guys real quick is the camera. We'll say the knife for now. I don't want to turn it on. And let's go ahead and do the flip. And here we are. It did switch over to the front-facing camera. Swiping from the, go ahead and into the settings, we have slow motion, panorama, photosphere, lens blur built in now, settings, and of course we have the ability of taking pictures. From the top, we have the ability of turning on grid. We have the 3x3 different settings here. We'll keep it off. The ability to change the different settings here, sunny, different exposure, the flash, HDR, auto HDR plus is on, and of course we have the timer. Swiping to the right gets us into video mode, and here we are set to 30 frames per second. We can change it to be at 60 frames per second, straight into the application. And of course, in the setup here, we have different options. We can change the brightness here. We'll go back, oops, didn't mean to go there. We'll go in there, and then you'll notice there's photosphere, and then we go into settings, and we can change the different options. The maximum resolution is 12:3. It is 4:3 aspect ratio, so if you want to go down, we'll go back here, 16:9, you are going to have to drop to 8.3 megapixel, but again, you're getting very nice pictures out of that. And as far as the front-facing camera, again, 4:3 aspect ratio, 8 megapixels as far as the sensor. But you know, if you want to drop to 16:9, it's a 4.1. Panorama video mode is 1080p, what does support 4K Ultra HD. Front-facing goes up to the maximum of 1080p, and that's pretty much it here as far as the camera. Let's go ahead and snap a couple of pictures and see how they look. Since we have our nice trusty knife here that we use to be able to do this, let's go ahead and take in. It was really fast as it's snapping them. You could see it's very nice. I did have HDR Plus turned on, and you can see very good detail here with the knife. You know, this is looking to be a very good performer. I'm really excited to checking it out. Out of the box, the device looks pretty good. Am I excited about this as much as I was excited about the Nexus 6P? Yes. This is a Pixel device. This is really Google's attempt to basically go into the market and say, look, we are a provider, we're going to make our own device, and we're going to be basically putting it in the store. So you have Verizon support on this, and you also have their own, you know, retail brick and mortar, Best Buy, supporting them. So when you go into the store now, you actually will see a display that just says Google. It's not going to say LG, it's not going to say any other branding, it's not going to say Samsung, it's just going to say Google. So if you guys want to check this out, definitely go down to your local Best Buy. You can check it out directly by yourself, or you can order it directly from the store. This was a pre-order, so it's definitely very nice to have it in the hand. It feels very nice, it feels very solid. The camera is going to be something that I'm going to definitely be checking out, as I love the Nexus 6P camera, which has a similar micron, as far as the sensor, it was both a 1.55 micron sensor. The Snapdragon 821 with the 4 gigs of RAM and the 32 gigs of storage are very nice. Again, the device feels very good. It's the brightness on it's really nice. I like the fact that it kept, you know, its core values as far as what the Pixel launcher is, but now we have shortcuts. We still have Google Now, and we have the Google Assistant built in. We have the ability of tweaking different things with the System Tuner UI, as well as the just normal unlocking the device, as this is an unlockable device. But just be aware, if you do unlock the bootloader on this device, Android Pay will stop working. But if you don't care about Android Pay, then you're good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you'd like to see a comparison between this one and the V20, since they're both really the first two Nougat running devices on the market. Android 7.0 here and 7.1 here. And it's something that it's really exciting to see that we actually have two devices before the end of 2016 that are running Android 7.0 that actually released about the same time and actually got them within a day from each other. So very excited. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. And actually, I'm hoping to get the code for the, you know, the Daydream VR very soon to be able to check that out and see how that experience is going to be with the new hardware and the new software that supports it built in. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next one.